Welcome back. Junior Rotax for drivers from 13 years of age is up next. We've just heard in the paddock after the second heat that the championship leader Josh Price has been excluded from the meeting. Apparently in the second heat there's been some contact between Josh and his good friend, actually former teammate Jay Nidger. There's been some words exchanged between the pair. They've gone into the office, and we understand, we're just talking to Josh's father, and as we were talking to him, his mechanics come across and said that Josh has been excluded from the meeting. Now clearly an appeal will take place. Whether he'll be successful or not, we don't know at this stage. But let's have a look at the grid positions and that televised final for Junior Rotax.
Well, as you can see from the grid positions, Josh Price nowhere to be seen. It's Brett Ward and Guan Yu Zhu on the front row with Luke Knott and Tom Harvey, with Nathan Aston and Morgan Rose on row 3. Keep an eye on Ben Hinchley, the O-plate, down in 18th. He should be a strong charge. And just a small note to Alan, who's just joined me beside, loving those gloves, by the way, blue with brown. What a combination.
Yeah, note to self, don't wear blue gloves with a brown jumper. Makes you look very, very silly. It's 46 who's got the lead through turn 1. Glenn Rupp has obviously been involved in an incident through turn 1 as we have a look at the pictures from the helicam up to the chicane, and all this contact. 4 drivers spat out, and one of them is the C-plate, the Welsh champion Tom Harvey, who's in the mix to win the championship today. Disaster for Tom. We'll have a look at the replay. Now, here's the replay. Pick the bones out of this one. There's a black flag coming out for, looks like Stephen Prentice. It looks like the officials have decided Stephen Prentice was at fault. We can't see much from that picture. We'll have another look from the helicam. That's a driver who's been held responsible. He's getting a black flag for this. Now, they've black flagged him for loading clearly. I don't think that is his fault. That's a harsh decision right there.
Absolutely, I think that was a very, very tough call there from the marshals, and I don't want to second guess them, but I think that was a very stern, tough line that they took there, and I think they picked the wrong guy really to put the blame on. Unfortunately, that is motor racing, and sometimes it doesn't always quite work out. Leading the field, though, the 79 is out in front. That is Nathan Aston. He has hit the front of this crazy couple of laps. Oh dear, 42. Lewis Marlin coming into contact with Alana Taylor there. Wrong place, wrong time. That's the only way to sum up that one. Lewis Marlin, arms in the air. What is going on? I don't really think there's much you can do about that one, Lewis. It wasn't really intentional. Up the inside, though, makes the move for the lead. That's Guan Yu Zhu. He makes his move for the lead, and into first place he goes with Brett Ward going through as well. Brett Ward making his challenge on Guan Yu Zhu for the lead. He's got him. Brilliant move from Brett Ward, from third to first in 2 corners, and that is not a move I ever thought I'd see. Brilliant driving, and he's happy with it.
These 3 drivers well clear of the rest, and we haven't mentioned that, of course, the championship is still alive between Guan Yu Zhou and Ben Hinchley. The O-plate, there is Ben Hinchley on that O-plate kart, but it looks like Guan Yu Zhou is going to take this championship. One thing he doesn't want to do, Jake, is get involved in any incident. So I can well see him letting Nathan Aston through into second, sitting there in third place, because that is enough for the championship for Guan Yu Zhou. But, well, he's decided he wants to lead the race. Now, if he's out front, he can be punted off from behind, and that can cost him a championship. But as things stand, he's got the lead, and he's got the championship in his pocket.
This is a young charge who is definitely proving he's got what it takes to be the champion. Lots of people talking about this boy as a potential Formula 1 driver of the future, and if he does make it before any of his compatriots, he'll be the first Chinese racer in Formula 1. So there's a lot of talk about it, bit of jostling as Ben Hinchley seeks an opportunity there. There was a little bit of contact. He tried to make the move on Potter, and he allowed Knott to go through, so he's actually hindering himself at the moment. Ben Hinchley, the pressure is a little bit great at the moment, and he's trying to win the championship that Guan Yu Zhu currently has in his pocket. Here we have the leading battle. Aston in the 79, Ward in the 46, right on Guan Yu Zhu's tail, and this is his championship to lose right now.
You can see from the overhead pictures from the helicam the gap that these 3 have got over the driver in 4th place. He's got a gap back to 5th, and there's a big gap back to the chasing bunch. That includes Ben Hinchley. But Guan Yu Zhou, frankly, if that was me, I'd be letting the 2 in behind past and sitting in 3rd place to be happy with that, because that's enough for the championship. If you're out front, you can be contacted from behind, and that can cost you a championship.
But Closing in on these three, in fourth position is the rookie, the German, Philipp Hamprecht. He's really pushing hard here in the 37. Now we've got a jostle as Guan Yu Zhu slips to third place. Through to the lead goes Aston, through to second goes Ward, and all of a sudden Philipp Hamprecht in the 37 is sitting on the tail of Guan Yu Zhu. So it's a 4-car battle for victory. If I was Guan Yu, I'd sit in the back of this train and just allow everything to happen in front. Even fourth position with Hingley as low as he is would be good for him for the championship, to be honest. So he doesn't have to panic here. This is his championship, and he's looking around, he's looking at who's in front of him, who's behind him. He realizes that he's in a very tenuous position here. If he's in a battle, he's vulnerable. He's got an opportunity to lose it. So he needs to settle himself into a position where he's comfortable, but he's still able to take this championship. Aston is leading. Ward now makes his move up the inside. Guan Yu Zhu is not settling. He's going for second place, and he takes it. And Philipp Hamprecht almost followed through as well there to get into third position. Nathan Aston in third, still challenging. These two want to beat Guan Yu Zhu for the race because they want to finish high on the season. Guan Yu Zhu is going for the championship. He's lining up another move. Careful, Guan, you don't want to ruin your championship now, mate. Not when it's all on the line.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about winning a championship, not winning individual races. It's always nice to win individual races, but at this stage of the season, it's about winning the championship. I'm really surprised that he's overtaking and putting himself in a position where he can be contacted and knocked out of the race and lose the championship as a consequence. Now, Aston comes up the inside. Now, going with him is Hamprecht. Now, this is the best position for me for Guan Yu. Has a good look over his shoulder there. If that's me now, if I'm his team, I'm just giving him indications from the pit wall that that's good enough. Just sit there, don't do any more than that.
Absolutely, because Ben Hingley is outside the top 10 at this point, so that's definitely going to be good enough for Guan Yu Zhou to seal the deal if he stays where he is. He can watch this battle in front, and even if it gets a little bit heated, which it could do, up the inside again, Aston takes Ward. He could actually earn a podium by sitting in fourth position and allowing them to get too close to each other, because if there's contact up in front and they get spat out, he could well get the win anyway. Here we go, up the inside, Ward takes Aston, Hamprecht is coming through as well. What a great drive from Philipp Hamprecht. Remember, he's a rookie this year, and the German is putting in a fantastic performance here at Shenington. Real sublime driving. Hasn't really been in the frame for a race victory. Now he's giving the signal, come on, let's get after the leader. We can get this win ourselves. Who needs to worry about what we're squabbling up for the lower positions? We don't want to get second, we don't want to get third, we want the win. And the only way to do that right now is to get back on the tail of Brett Ward. Philipp Hamprecht has picked this up very quickly. Good stuff. Through the right-hander and up towards the left. Down the Stamford Straight they'll go. Guan Yu Zhu, look, he's right on the tail of Aston, but he's not swarming all over him. He's now decided he is going to listen to the Alan Tadei rule book for common sense, and he's going to hang on to that fourth position. Allow these three to squabble. He looks back, there's plenty of space. He's got this. Yeah,
I think he's decided. I think he's had the message probably from the team, who've probably given him the calm down message. Had a big look over his shoulder there, and that's the right thing to do as well. He wants to give himself a bit of space from the karts in front, because if they do tangle, the last thing he wants to do is run into them. So here he's sort of 6 or 7 kart lengths as we see Philipp Hamprecht with the fastest lap. This is the best we've seen of him in the Super 1 Championship this season. Guan Yu, a little bit of a gap from him to the karts in front. Again, another little look over his shoulder. Doesn't want to do anything more than that as Aston comes up the inside with Ward. Hamprecht, who's got the fastest lap, drops down to third place. Looks like he's starting to defend there as well. Will want to come home in the podium position if he can.
And if I know Guan Yu Zhu with a championship resting on it, I think he's going to give it to him as well. He's not going to care about bringing home a trophy for one insignificant race as far as he's concerned. He's going to care about lifting the whole thing, the whole crown. And he's just keeping out of sight of Hamprecht. Look, he's just pulling out from behind him to have a look and see if there is an opportunity to get on the podium. But I don't think he'll try too hard if there's a sniff of a chance. I think he'll make sure there is a perfect opportunity and take that. If there isn't one, I think he'll just sit in fourth place. But here we go for the lead. This is it, Ward versus Aston. Ward hanging on, he just looks aside, blocks his line. He's got every right to do that because he only changed direction once. So Ward holds the lead from Aston. He's driving cleanly, he's driving driving defensively. He wants to have this lead. He wants this win. It's the last race of the year. Everybody wants to finish on a high. Aston trying to go the long way round. He's not going to make that stick, and Handbrake very nearly grabbed second place. If he'd have stayed with them, he might well have got it. They're going to come across the line, side by side. Ward just gets it from Aston. What a finish. They were separated by 0.03 of a second. Wow.
Yeah, I had a good start. Obviously, I came from 13th on the grid, so had a good start, just came my way through. The first three, they were pretty much gone. I caught them up, and then just a fight.
It looked like a close race at the front. Can you just talk us through your part of it, please?
Yeah, well, my part of it was pretty boring, to be honest. I just sat behind and pushed and just waited until the last few laps. It's easier like pushing 3 karts away and having to battle with them 3 at the end rather than battling with the 10 behind us and making it really hard work at the last few laps. So that's what happened.
Right, a good win. You're pleased to take the lead there. It was very exciting to watch, so talk us through your bit of it.
The last few laps were very tough and really, well, great fun to race. Aston, me, Joe and Hamspratt really done some good racing, but I was really glad I come out with a victory.
The last race of the season decided by less time than it takes to blink an eye. But all of that means that Guan Yu Zhu is the ultimate champion. Ben Hingley second, just a point ahead of Tom Harvey in the end. Brett Ward, Jake Walker and Nathan Aston rounding out the top 6. And there's one race left to go for these boys and girls in the 2013 season.